Good morning to all the dignitaries present here, and a very good morning to the bold young minds who are present before me. I feel very honored to be here because this is the moment where I am feeling very proud to engage and speak to the youth, especially the bold young minds. And as I'm known that the NCC students are here, it's a proud feeling that to address on Swami Vivekananda, a right group of youth is the people or the students who are in the connected to the defense forces, because I feel that more of dedication, more of the power that they have within themselves is among this age group. Today, when I thought that I would want to speak on the building bold minds, Swami Vivekananda's thought towards the youth, I feel that it is a topic, it is not to be just understood like a legend. But this is a topic which you must understand and you must take it as a message to your life. I'm saying take Swami Vivekananda as an icon, follow his ideals so that you see greater success and greater ideals in your life. I feel that very engaging things Swami Vivekananda had in his life, and not only keeping just into words, he brought out into actions. I would like to tell that the sun rising in Bharat, which is commendably appreciated by a lot of thinkers and scholars, telling that this land is the place where you see a lot of happiness, a lot of developmental goals, and a lot of place where you find success and splendor. And how the success splendor was very much initiated, or how it was thought to be into a mode of development. It is because of such scholars like Swami Vivekananda, who tried to bring the best, who tried to give the world a message what India is doing to the world. What is the contribution that India is doing to the world? The very note that words like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu stands with a note that India has a unique place in the world. A unique place in the world where the contributions are admired. What happened during the centuries is a time when nobody realized our own strength. It was understood that India was in a degrading position, and there was a time where leaders, thinkers like Swami Vivekananda came up with a voice and a spirit. In the Parliament of Religions of Chicago, he gave a bold message telling that we are the one who needs to stand, and therefore, with the address of my dear brothers and sisters of America, it is a note that he has stood with the power and with the boldness. To make it in a very simple manner, I would like to tell that role of youth, how Swami Vivekananda is a message to the youth, is in two ways. One is individual development, another one is collective development. The individual development is such that we as individuals, we as the youth need to carry forward. He always says, take out risk in your life. If you win, you lead, or else you guide. What it means is, success and failures are the part and parcel of one's life. When we go through a lot of moments in our life, we find that there are problems where it tells that these all problems for a strong person is like sand. A weak person will take it as a rock. So it is required to make our mind, because it is that the infinite strength lies in the mind of the person. Today, the thoughts, the ideas that you have in yourself is the one which counts for your actions. And therefore, make it a point to take up ideas, to take up such ideas that you can make your society to be better. A very note that Swami Vivekananda, right from his childhood, has provided a lot of message that every single individual in this world has to carry. We may take it in the perspective of a monk, but 100% I'm really telling her that he is an inspiration. If you start reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, you feel mesmerized that I also want to do something in the society. I also want to bring out some change in the society. As rightly said, the youth of today's century are lagging behind the way of questioning. The questioning should lie in the matters and ways of wrong happenings. Today you find any wrong happening in the society, you should question out there, bring out your words. And if one does that, I'm sure that there is a way that others will join for a better cause. He always tells that, be good, do good. Because ethical values, ethical strength is the one which is going to transform your life. Be it you're in our country or anywhere else. It is the way where you're going to take out the moral ethics, and that is what our country stands for. And I believe that our culture that is called as Sapratama Samskriti Vishwara, what means that it is having a very good position in the world. Now, we the youths are the ones who require to take it forward. Right from your house, how you behave, how you try to build up the society, the place in your house is the way that you can carry it forward into the society. Would like to tell that Swami Vivekananda rightly told, give me 100 strong men. That is the youth. I will transform India. And his focus was completely in the youth, telling that they will work out boldly, they will work out confidently, and they will try to bring out something best and work like lions into the passionate working of country development. Would like to tell that Swami Vivekananda's life incidents, reading a lot of books we find that, and understanding his all actions, where a lot of scholars have tried to interpret his knowledge, his actions in such a way that he remains as an inspiration. Because in his every step, though difficulties have touched him, he has stood against it and tried to provide confidence and strength. My dear friends, 33 years of his life journey. It is commendable to see that a lot of things that have gone in his life, and he has tried to bring out the best till his last breath, the confidence, the willpower, the determination to see India independent, to see the youth, to see the society moving in the tides of development. It was his way of working. And he tells that today, if a person or if a cat wears the attire of a lion, that cat will transform into a lion. It will still be a cat itself. So what is important is transformation within yourself. Transformation so that you become confident, you become bold. And how can you do that? First thing, the personality development. Try to think about your development. It is always told that, and I always feel this is the right statement. Think first how you can develop yourself, how you can bring out best ideas, and then try to give those contributions to the society. I find that during his childhood, how compassionate he was in the confident way of helpful minds is that when his mother told to get a knife, he brought it and gave it from the other side, not the sharp side. It showed how well his life was with values and ethics. There were a lot of kings like the Raja of Khetri, the Maharaja of Alwar, who tried to tell that how and tried to mock him how he could stand against and try to bring out a lot of problems there. And when he was told by the Raja of Khetri to bow down for the pig. He told that I do not bow down before the people, but I bow down before the divine. That means he believed that no person is great. Every person, maybe the person from the peasant's cottage, maybe even from the laborer working anywhere, all are great. Today, you should understand from yourself that no person is a leader. Every person is having that power to shine within yourself and to bring out the best out of yourself. Try to keep your passion and interest. You're having a lot of talents, my dear young people. You will try to bring out those talents into actions. You're going to completely succeed in your life. I know the very good incident for the confidence which Swami Vivekananda had rightly said about the monkeys, where he chased away those monkeys, which means that we need to not be into the ways of fearful, but we need to think out, we need to be bold. If you try to inculcate fear within yourself, you are not going to succeed. And I would like to tell that no person is perfect in this world. As all are not perfect, I 100% believe that you can try to do best. Take a strategy, take a planning, and try to work on it. Different individuals are talented in different ways. One person may want to become a singer, another one to be a dancer, to be a sports person. Take it as a talent and try to work on it. Because it tells that when you have an idea, you should take it that and you should make that idea your life. When you make that idea your life, you start living it. And when you start living it, the idea becomes success. No matter when you plan properly, when you have a vision, a goal, what you are going to do is, if you fail for 5,000 times, you are just going to fail for 10 to 100 times. That was the message of Swami Vivekananda. And there are a lot of incidents that took place while building Bharat. When he went to the countries like England and to other places, he found a lot of people did not give that support where he felt that where India stands. And in every ways that he went, he tried to be bold and give a very good answer for everything. An incident sparks here is, so we went to, when he was traveling in the train, there was a person who looked at his attire and started to laugh. Swami Vivekananda rightly told that, my country, my people do not respect me for my attire. They respect me for my character. I find today technological world is moving ahead. Youths are having different types of innovative things in front of them. But ultimately, your willpower, your personality, and your zeal to come forward is that what counts. Be it technology is going so ahead today, I would like to tell that it will not replace what human beings would stand for. It would not replace what human thinking would stand for, because human beings are considered to be supreme. And here what I want to tell is, the respect for human beings is which Swami Vivekananda always stood for. He always told that the way we communicate, the way we build strong minds, the way we unitedly work for a cause is one thing that we are going to take it forward. And you students being in the NCC and other works, from your day-to-day activities, you must think in order to do something good for the society. A rational thinking is important. When you have such a rational thinking, when you have a thinking where you can segregate between good and bad, you are the one who is going to put up that idea to make it successful. No matter what failure comes, you must think that I will be bold and I will try to go forward. Because he tells that mind is a hub of knowledge. When you make your mind strong, it is the way you are going to take the thoughts of Vivekananda forward. If you just think about a lot of aspects, when Swami Vivekananda was moving through the streets, a cobbler gave him water. He took it happily. Why? Because he was such a great saint then, but still, he had the way of down to earth nature. No matter you go too high or no matter you belong to a rich class or anything, have that humbleness within yourself. When you are humble, is that you carry forward. So, as it is, we can say that how youths in today's society require to go forward. Today, we are seeing independence. That was a thought in Swami Vivekananda's dream was aspired with two ideas. One, our nation should be free, and another, the youth and the development of the society. So, youth require to take a goal-minded work. Why? Because today you're planning for something. Ultimately, it should reach a success. So, if you want to strive ahead, keep a vision and keep a aim little more higher so that you can reach at least somewhere mid that. And I would like to tell that today you are having social media within your tips of your hands. We can see a lot of youth, and it's a very happy note also. They try to innovate something better from the social media. Try not waste time in that. Try to build something better so that at least a few group of people is given the best out of it. The very nice thought which I feel inspiring. Awake, arise, and stop not until the goal is reached. Our hard work, our determination should be a way forward for gaining some success in life, and that is where you should work continuously. Consistency in working is the way you are taking it forward. Similarly, I would like to tell that there are lots of ways on personality development that one requires to think to be a bold man. A concentrated power. When you concentrate on different aspects, you are going to see success because there were many young men who were trying to throw some stones and they could not succeed in that. When Swami Vivekananda came and he tried to throw the stone, it was successful. That's because he had the power of concentration. And another incident which reminds is of when he was going in the train to travel to England, he was reading a newspaper. When he was reading a newspaper, he saw that he read it, but as the wind blew, the newspaper flew away. The Englishman started to scold him. So what did he do? He told, "Give me a paper and a pen." The whole newspaper ditto was written in that paper. That is the power of concentration. You need to try ways to concentrate in the work that you do. When you concentrate, you're going to build a bold mind. I feel that rather than many things like awareness and others, one person should be bold. How is that going to take place? It's going to take place when you make your mind up. When you make your mind in a way that I will do these works, I will try to do something to the society. It is possible. Inspiration, try to start that from your house, where you inspire your families. Because I know pretty well that students are provided with the education, and from the education, you learn something or the other, and you will get a lot of ideas. When you try to change bits, you try to make the society better. The wonders of the society begins at your house. So Swami Vivekananda always addressed the families, the people at the house of the youth to be inspired from there and then to the society. Here we find that the youth power is consistently focused upon by Swami Vivekananda in a lot of lectures. And he says that if today the youth focus and youth are focused, then it is very evident that the problems that are engaging in the society would be not present and they would be eradicated. So, as a youth, what is the way you can show your boldness? As I rightly said, the attitude of questioning. The questioning attitude is the main way where you question yourself, what I am doing, and question the happenings in the society. And try to engage yourself into the activities like volunteering and try to gain some knowledge from that. And in the workplace where you're going to work in the future, you can see Swami Vivekananda's aspects would be really helpful for you. The philosophy of living together and the infinite strength one person is having, because Swami Vivekananda just focused on the willpower of an individual. As human power is having such a way that you can take yourself ahead. When he was tirelessly mocked at him because there was a division. As we know, there was a freedom struggle movement that was taking place, and a place of India was not that good in the eyes of the Westerns. But Swami Vivekananda's boldness made a change, made a vision that India is having something. And you can say that how bold minds are created. Very simple. Swami Vivekananda, after his journey in this earth, later on, a lot of freedom fighters, a lot of thinkers arose. I'm not saying only the thinkers of India, thinkers of Western like Leo Tolstoy and others got inspired to his words, and they have mentioned his name in their books. What it makes is, today we see people like Lokmanya Tilak, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, and many others. There was no such person who told none about Swami Vivekananda, but gave a note that he was an inspiration. And you saw that Indian independence movement was truly inspired by his words. So this is the way the boldness was created. Swami Vivekananda rightly says, you must not take fear within yourself. Fear is the greatest way that you're seeing failures in your life. When you know that you are doing good, try to build up that boldness in your life. So as Swami Vivekananda rightly said, self-confidence. The youth, especially who are into the good activities of the society, are required to build a mind where you think that I can be good, but with the self-confidence, try to bring out the innovation. When you innovate something better, you are going to see your creativity providing forward. Swami Vivekananda's focus is on the youth. And especially, he tells that youth in different spheres is the way who is going to give the best to the society. So he tells that youth are the change makers. When youth can try something better, it is the way everybody gets inspired because they are having innovative ideas and innovative skills. Today we see a lot of youth working practically in the society, practically working in different spheres like entrepreneurship, like bringing out some ways to protect the environment, provide education. You see, they also work in places like slums and try to bring out the change there. My idea is that it is not that you need to do big things. Start from a small change. If you really think in that way, you are going to bring out the society forward. Social media would help the individuals to gain ideas, but will not make to be yourself. It will not build yourself. Rather than it will give you inputs what others are doing. What you want to do to the society, it is not the way that is going to reach. But when you use it in an appropriate way and try to bring out something best from that platform itself, you are going to make the change in the society. And then, youth taking inspiration from Swami Viveka. If someone asks me which is the best book to be read to gaining inspiration from Swami Vivekananda's words, I would like to tell that Swami Vivekananda, Whisper of My Soul, the book is really very appropriate. And it tells what is required. It tells that work like a master, also work like a servant. When you work balancing, you will go ahead. Don't keep 100 ideas in your mind. Focus on one goal. Focus on one idea. Every person cannot be all-rounder, but he can try to build up his talent, his passion, his interest in such a way that he will take out the way of success. And that is what if you are trying to do out of your curriculum, out of your syllabus, it is the way where you can make a nation development there. And the next is youth and environment. Major problems of the society Swami Vivekananda was feeling. When he got a comfort life in England, when he was given a luxurious life, he denied it because he thought about my countrymen who are suffering from poverty and other aspects. Boldly condemned that and said that I would prefer sleeping in the ground. Because he wants to have the problems to be eradicated. And how these problems are eradicated, it's because when the youth power comes together. Because this is an age where everybody thinks in a different aspects. What I feel in the present scenario, what's happening is youth are having a lot of ideas, but that ideas are kept in the mind itself. They're not brought out into execution. When you bring these ideas into execution, you're going to see wonders. And the advocacy for environment and social justice. Today, an environment is an important note for people to go ahead. So what is the cause action required in that way? You can think about. And the major thing is social justice. We need to work to see the society which is having the forward note to provide justice to what is happening. And if the scream of the youth is there in a bold way, you can bring the change in no ways. And therefore, the ways of Bhakti, Karma, Raja and Jnana, where I feel that you need to be spiritually upright also so that you can see the mindfulness of concentration going in the right way. Because he always believed in the divine power and believed that going towards the divine was the greatest strength that any individual has. He always said that trees do not eat their fruits, rivers do not drink their water. What it means that you're working, if it is 50% for yourself, the other 50%, at least be happy to see selfless service among the people. So that was his words. What I found is how the youth have transformed from the inspiration of Swami Vivekananda is that one way they have tried to bring out better ways to provide employment and how you can create your self-employment, how you can be stable in the economy. That is where you're trying to build up yourself. And similarly, you find that today with the special children, the people are working. That's because in order to bring them into the mainstream, that is somewhere I found from the Swami Vivekananda's words, there were many people working. And how you can be away, that is where urgent support whenever anyone is required. Maybe in all the fronts, emotionally, and in the way of assistance, you need to give it to them. And that is where your boldness is into actions. So as I already told, different aspects, it is where the community development. Swami Vivekananda's teachings rightly say that the community-wide requires the way of empowerment. And this empowerment will take place when the youth rightly engage along with the community, providing their ideas to do something. You find a lot of problems here and there. When you try to address those problems with everyone's ideas, because no matter, every person is having a lot of ideas, and when those ideas are brought together, they are going to be successful. Similarly, the leadership. As I rightly said, every person is having the leadership skill within. Try to come forward with ideas so that you try to inspire. And similarly, the personality development. The personality development is going to teach you the better. These all fronts are going to help the youth to build bold minds. If you're just sitting in your house or your school or your college, yeah, that's important. But if it is only in that sphere, you're not going to show what is important to the societal development. For a society to move forward, or at least your development, you need to engage in a lot of activities here and there so that you gain knowledge. And failures or any other things that happens, not take it as something negative. Be positive. Try to think that you can do something better. What it requires that the focus of education that Swami Vivekananda. What type of education did Swami Vivekananda give us? A practical education. The education where you see the society in front of you. When you are learning something, try to connect that this education what I am learning today should help at least someone outside. When you are going out from the institution or any other place, you should think that my education is the way that is going to show a way to nation building. And that is what Swami Vivekananda rightly said. Skill-based education. This is why I am focusing, because whenever you are having some skill, may be very simple, maybe even driving, it will help you in some or the other way. That is the way where you are going to contribute to the economy also in some or the other way. Now what's important here is, mainly when I think about building bold minds, the bold minds are built by your mind, your thinking. Only when you make your lifestyle in such a way that you are trying to address self-respect and trying to bring out willpower, that's where you're going to succeed. Having so many problems in and here, building out Ramakrishna mission was not an easy task. Even then, taking a way forward to countries in the Western, it was not easy for Indians to look up there. But how boldly Swami Vivekananda in his whole life has tried to give the best is the way is an inspiration. It was also, when he was sitting for a dining, was mocked. And during that particular point of time, Swami Vivekananda rightly said with his words that when there is good sitting next to a bad, only the good sustains, not the bad. So that was the way he addressed them. We find that having small failures, we feel disappointed. Swami Vivekananda's life altogether was with the happiness and the miseries, because he wanted to bring out a better society, a better country, and he believed in youth. If today's youth are trying to make a change, then we can see India being in an incredible way. And you can take it as personally also, I need to be good, I need to do something, I need to take a lot of inspiration from myself and try to see how good I am, and then go ahead. Try not to compare yourself. When you try not comparing, you will see your own strength. And therefore, a lot of programs As your students, we can see a lot of inspirational programs that are taking place here and there. Take something. Listen to that, at least take some betterment from that program and go ahead. And similarly, you need to learn from your experience. Because day to day, whatever happens, that is a greatest treasure that you are having. Yesterday's mistake should not repeat today. Then you will be ahead. And Swami Vivekananda tried his best writing letters. His letters are so powerful. Each word is having a message. It is so inspirational to read his life, to read his teachings. Because that every single word is having the message of power. Because in any way that he spells comes to the way of character building and nation building. That is the main aspect he wants to teach. So there are many movements that have been taken place. And even today we can see a lot of youth trying to bring some innovative change. You must also involve in that so that you see somewhere in the society. So that is the way Swami Vivekananda had provided the message. A very strong statement which I feel the youth must inspire is, you can't believe in God until and unless you believe in yourself. The utmost strength is within you. How you try to face the society, how you try to be an icon in the society is where you are having it as a gift or a weapon in your hand. And how do you do that? As I said, how you bring out your lifestyle. Your lifestyle in such a way that you keep knowledge handy and try to bring out some best ideas and execute those ideas so that you are seeing a change. Having boldness is to inculcate a mind full of thoughts which are working into problem solving techniques. Because when the youths are trained for such things, you will be ever ready for any situation that comes and hits you. And so that you will be very strong in such situations. And that is the boldness. Boldness to not accept the wrong things. Boldness to stand against it. That is Swami Vivekananda's thought. He believed that youth need to be in such a way that they are collaborated with the good thinking and good thoughts, that they try to make their life and shine themselves so that you can see a lot of opportunities here and there. You try to involve and get into it and you find the wonders in that. And another point, the greatest sin is to think that you're weak. Major point of shattering your boldness is your thinking, your thoughts. When you think that you're weak, ultimately you're weak. If you think that you're strong. Even if 100 people mock at you, oh, he's doing something wrong. No. If you're doing something good and if people mock you, there is no wrong. You are at the right path. He tells that when you're doing something and people are laughing at you, and that means you're in the right path because you're doing something great in your life. And always the problems are at this point. And I said the word, take risk in your life. One person who tries to take risk for a better cause will always succeed. How bold minds are created? It is through responsibility. When you are responsible to take the leadership ahead, when you are responsible to lead your life, you are going to succeed in all fronts. And the service to humanity. How can you serve the human? It is in your own friend circle, in your own neighborhood. You are trying to show your selfless service. It is the greatest mankind and the greatest contribution you are doing to the nation. And then you can try to think about how you can succeed for the nationwide development. Youth should be resilient. How a youth can be resilient is trying to face challenge, trying to develop strategies, and try to have emotional intelligence, problem solving techniques, which will provide you the determination and courage. And that is where you can support one another for a better cause. The impact of mentorship. A very simple note, how bold minds are made. You need to take an ideal guru in your life. Not take hundreds of things, but take an ideal guru who will teach you the path and the way towards success, and who will guide you utmostly without any ulterior motive. That is the way when Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also guided Swami Vivekananda to a better way. Completely his life was motivated and his life itself changed. And you can see he has been successful through his words. And what is a success? Very simple. Indian independence movement was a success because of many people got the ideas of himself and tried to be bold and execute. Because Subhash Chandra Bose rightly in his ways when he was in struggles takes Swami Vivekananda as an inspiration. So technology, how you can use the technology into a better way. There are a lot of platforms for learning. There are a lot of platforms for making a change. When you try to utilize it in a good way, you're seeing your boldness is into it. As I rightly said, how you need to empower the next generation. I would like to tell my dear friends, if today you are not in a right path or you are not trying to inspire the society, then no one is going to come tomorrow for inspiring the society. So what you need to do is try to bring out the best for your interest, your passion, your commitment and dedication towards the nation should invite to the upcoming generations. And whatever better works that you are taking in your field is important. So, with these words, I feel that there is a requirement not thinking on any bias or any differences, but in a simple way, you need to balance the struggles, balance the failures, and balance even the success so that you take the lead for empowerment. And it happens only when you individually think to be developed and when you think that collectively we can do a lot of wonders. When you all together come for a better cause. When you tell about individual, it's your mind and it's how you work day to day. How you try to plan your strategies. And that is where you can see the fearlessness should be taken out. And the very simple message that Swami Vivekananda is giving to the youth. Because he believed that youth is the one who is having the power. And collectively, because collective spirits can lead better ways. And you can see different types of initiatives that many have taken and many institutions have taken. When you are collectively coming together, ideas flow. And ideas flow, you need to take positively and try to bring a change to the society. It is where, when you think that I can do something better to the society, your words and your actions are always there. And once again, I would always tell that take out risk in your life. If you win, you will lead or else you will guide. Both are in your hands. Thank you.